Hello, this is Crystal Jordan, and this is From Crystal with Love. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. You guys know how this goes by now. We're going to get started. We've got a lot to talk about today, but before we can do anything, I need you to go ahead and give it to me. Go ahead, press that red button. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And then I want you to share so that your friends, colleagues, family can talk about this discussion and we can get the numbers up. I thank you guys so much for all of you that leave comments, that have been supportive to this show and other shows on the channel. I love you so much. I thank you for supporting. So please share, please like, and please subscribe. All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into today's show. Now, the headlines this week have been crazy with the fact that Bill and Melinda Gates have announced that they are getting divorced. Say what? Bill and Melinda Gates. First of all, for so long, we didn't even know Bill Gates was an actual real person, right? We just know that he was like this figment of wealth that, would come out and speak about certain things. Now, last year during the pandemic, both Bill and Melinda were very vocal about this vaccine, about different communities, and it was a little strange, in my opinion. So to hear them come out and say, make a statement and say that they're getting divorced after 27 years of marriage and $134 billion between the two of them and their nonprofit foundation, that's just very shocking to me. Their statement is one of those PR curated statements, which reads, "After a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage." Now, I know most of you guys are wondering, what in the world could make you want to end a marriage with a fortune of $134 billion? Most marriages end because of financial issues. Obviously, finances were the furthest thing from this couple's issues. So I wonder what caused them to end up in divorce. If anything, this is definitely a lesson to show us that money does not solve every problem. And time, because 3 kids, 27 years, you think you're locked in by then. You guys have been together almost 3 decades and you've managed to make billions and billions of dollars. There's no place in the world that you can't go. There's nothing you can't do, and still you can't stay together. So money doesn't solve everything. And it'll be interesting to see exactly how much the settlement is for. Now, I heard there is no prenup. They've been together, like I said, almost 3 decades. So when they got married, Bill Gates was, I'm sure, not doing badly, but he definitely wasn't worth $134 billion. So it will definitely be interesting to see how much Melinda walks away with. I definitely know there's going to be a lot of people sliding. I don't know if Melinda Gates is on social media, but trust me, the wolves are coming after her. I predict Bill Gates will get a very young, very silent, but beautiful and agreeable young woman and probably have a lot of fun with her. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Melinda Gates after this. Bill and Melinda Gates, no longer together. Our next celebrity couple is Alexis Ohanian and Serena Williams. I thought this quote in People magazine was so cute because we know Serena is the best tennis player in the world, right? She's an iconic figure, especially as an athlete. She's actually my favorite athlete, but she's definitely a hard worker. We saw her sister and herself work with their father, and we know that she puts in so many hours. She had a baby and came right back to the tennis court. So for her husband to say that she is his balance, she's the one that tells him to unplug and to let work go and to make sure that he's balanced and not doing too much work, that's saying a lot. He said that she balances him out and constantly reminds him to unplug. So he's the only person that works harder. She said that he's the only person that she knows that works harder than herself. I've always thought they're a really cute couple. Their daughter, Olympia, is adorable. But to see that they have this balance and for them to share that, I thought was really cool. Definitely something we all can learn from. All right, let's get to our reality television. Now, this week, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about Iyanla Fix My Life. Now, that's not usually one of our topics here on From Crystal with Love, but because your host was actually one of the guests on the show, I thought we'd go ahead and talk about it. So I went on Iyanla Fix My Life on a show titled Taking Care of Business, Losing in Love. If you didn't see the show, you can go to OWN and I'm sure pull it up. The show has 4 media personalities. Like I said, yours truly is one of them, along with Miss Shanika, who's on 94.5 here in Atlanta, Georgia, Aaron Ray, who's a radio personality, and music DJ Tracy Steele. The 4 of us knew each other from working together. Shanika and I were really good friends, and we all were single. All of us were single. All of us were going through the usual issues that women in Atlanta have with dating. And Shanika called me up one day and was like, hey, we need to get some help. I think we should go on the show. At first I was like, really? You know, because everybody knows that Miss V gets straight to the point and she gives it to you straight, no chasers. But because of where I was in life, I decided that I definitely want to go. Now, before I show you guys this clip, I want to make it clear. No, I was not in a relationship before I went on the show, but I was always one of those people that believed in love. I've been a relationships editor, like I said, for one of the biggest urban magazines in the country, and I always believed in love for other people. I just wasn't really sure if that was for me. Check out this clip from Taking Care of Business, Losing in Love.
I have never in my life been with a man who makes more money than I do, ever. Ever. Because I'm not with a man because of what he can do for me. I'm with a man because of who I am and who he is and how that integrates. Let's talk about being with men and how you treat men who don't make as much money as you do.
I don't even date him. I don't know what that...
It's not the money, because I was going to say, I've been with a man that made more than me and I still was verbally abusive.
Yeah. I think the more that I hear you talk, the more that I hear you kind of defend things instead of just admitting to it. Mm-hmm. Or you try to sugarcoat it instead of saying... Owning.
Own your stuff. I was just saying both ways, whether you have it or you don't, it's still, it didn't really change the fact if I was gonna be myself or not. Like, you got the money, if I feel like I have something to say, I'ma still say, and if you don't got the money, I'ma still say what I have to say.
Yeah, but when you don't have the money and you say it, do you put that caveat on the end? Broke! Do you put that on the end? Or you ain't get, you can't...
I mean, but, okay, so look, if you do have the money, I'ma still put that extra on it.
It's an issue for me because that's a big part of my personal goals, and I feel like...
What's a big part of your personal goal?
Being in a financially set place.
And what does that have to do with him?
But he can't give me advice if we're not, I feel like we're not equally yoked.
Just because a person is defective does not mean they cannot see your defects.
Okay, so that clip is really powerful because number one, Miss V acknowledges that she has never been with a man that makes more money than her. That obviously is one of the issues that a lot of career women have. Being able to find a man that's a good balance. We know that there's a lot of conversation about career women and can they find someone that's their equal, especially the higher they go up the corporate ladder or the higher they go in their career. Is there someone to balance them out? It actually turned out that for us, the problem wasn't necessarily finding someone that was a good balance, but it was dealing with past hurts, past pain, past relationships that we hadn't really healed from. And that pain was bottled up and we fueled all that energy into work. I know for myself, after going through some painful heartbreak earlier in my life, I took all that energy and I put it totally into work and it paid off. I mean, my career skyrocketed, but I was always very imbalanced. And so I thank Miss V for showing me some of the areas that I, was definitely failing in. Well, not even failing in, but just doing wrong. So I would say to all the women out there, instead of taking work and using that as a substitute for heartbreak, take the time to heal, take the time to go to therapy, take the time to love on yourself, and always make a space for love in your life. All right. I hope you guys got something from that episode. We've had a lot of feedback from women saying that they appreciated it, that it helped them, even men, people that have gone through hurt. So I hope that people got something out of that. And I thank you guys for allowing me to share a little bit about my personal testimony. All right. We're going to move on to Ready to Love. Ready to Love. Now, the season is finally heating up, right? We're finally starting to get to know these singles a little bit better. We're finally starting to get some of that good water cooler conversation happening where we figure out, okay, this person is doing something that we see in the dating world, something that we like, something that we don't like. Today's clip shows Tressa. Now, Tressa was the BBW from the show. Earlier this year, I talked to nephew Tommy about the fact that people suggested Ready to Love did not have enough diversity when it came to the females. So he assured me that this season there was a BBW on the show. Her name happened to be Tressa. Viewers fell in love with her. She's got a bubbly personality. She's unapologetically beautiful. And, you know, she presented her best shot to the guys. A lot of guys weren't attracted to her. But Dedrick decided after he initially wasn't attracted to her, after seeing her personality, he was going to go ahead and go out with her. This is what happened when I asked Tressa how she felt about Dedrick asking her out because of her personality and then saying that he was no longer attracted, that he no longer wanted to go out with her. Let's see what she said.
So let me first just say to all the fans, I have never in my whole entire life went out on a date with anyone that first said that they weren't attracted to me. Never happened. No, I've never done it. I also don't feel that men are shallow just because they're not attracted to me. They have a preference. I have a preference. I'm not dating a man with titties. If you have titties, it's not going to happen. Okay. So if you are a plus size man and you think that because you 300 pounds that I should date you, you're going to be wrong, because I'm not. You know, the men that I've dated look like Ron. They look like Joel. They, you know, but I've also, you know, been in love with someone who was overweight before. You know what I mean? He was overweight. He still was sexy, but he was technically overweight. Okay. So women are different, you know, but I decided to go along with the process, you know, when he, you know, decided, and if you remember my reaction when he was like, we should go on a date. And I was like, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it caught me off guard. The camera is in front of me. Mm-hmm. So in hindsight, I felt like I should have been like, no, that's probably not a good idea. But I'm just I'm going to be open to the process.
Okay, so the interesting thing is so many women reached out, Twitter was going crazy. People were upset because they felt like the men were judging Tressa unfairly, right? They weren't giving her a shot. They were being very superficial. But what I love about Tressa is not only is she confident, but she says she has no problem with men having their own preferences. She actually has preferences of her own. If you guys heard in the clip, she doesn't like men that have breasts. I'm not going to say anything about that, but I definitely understand. She also mentioned some of the guys on the show that were short, that weren't necessarily her type. She said that she likes a guy that's very fit and, you know, is kind of got like that muscular build. So shouts out to Tressa for saying that she is okay with having her preferences. And she's also okay with someone else seeing that she's not their preference. However, I still think that Dedrick should not have asked her out because he knew deep down he was not attracted to her. I don't believe that men ever can reverse their attraction. Like they can initially not be attracted to you and then because of your personality become attracted. I just don't see that happening. Anyway, Tressa was eliminated along with Stacy. We talked to both of them, but we'll have to see what happens next. Well, I'm interested to see who Dedrick is going to connect with now that he's made it clear that he just ain't feeling Tressa. All right, our next clip is from Married to Medicine. Again, Married to Medicine is not one of the shows that we usually have, but this clip was too juicy and I definitely had to go ahead and pull it and bring it to the discussion. Married to Medicine is a show we know that there are doctors and there are spouses. Half the cast are female, half the cast are male. Now, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie reside here in Atlanta. They're good friends of mine. I really admire both of them. They run thriving practices. They do a lot for the community. And they both have marriages that, you know, have withstood the test of time. Dr. Jackie has been very open about the fact that her marriage did go through a situation of infidelity. Dr. Heavenly hasn't had those issues, but she's very, very clear about the fact that her marriage comes first. So for these ladies to sit down at a table with some other women, including Giselle Bryant from Real Housewives of Potomac, along with her friend Robin from Real Housewives of Potomac as well, Dr. Contessa from Married to Medicine, Lisa Nicole Cloud, who used to be on the show, and a couple other people from the show. And they're talking about the fact that cheating should not be a deal breaker. Check out this clip.
But you know what? Most marriages don't end because of cheating. Then a lot of people say we get closer because of the affair. So it's not something that is a deal breaker in marriages, and I really hate that people even believe that that is.
There are a lot of husbands that weren't perfect in their marriages. Yes.
Okay, so what I liked about this clip is, number one, I can relate to Contessa. I believe that no matter how much in love you are, how amazing your significant other is, you can never say never. To be honest, you can never say never about yourself. People, you just don't know what you will do in a situation. You can say, I have every intention to be faithful to my spouse, and your spouse can have every intention to be faithful to you. But over the course of a marriage, you can never say, I know my husband will not cheat on you. Trust me, you definitely don't want to say that. Take my personal experience. You do not want to assume, no matter how amazing your marriage is, that infidelity can never become a part or be an issue that you have to face. Now, I actually have to admit, I agree with the ladies in this aspect. Infidelity does not have to be the end of a marriage. However, it definitely signifies a problem. I think it definitely, in my opinion, signifies that there needs to at least be a separation until you figure out how to get over it. Dr. Jackie's situation is a beautiful example of how a marriage can rebound from infidelity. I actually remember having a conversation with her and hearing how she wanted to save her marriage. She believed in it. There was so much good there. And even though she was hurt and she had acknowledged that she was hurt, she was willing to do the work to fix her marriage. I have to applaud that. And most people do. There's no such thing as a marriage that is without problems. So I agree that infidelity should not be a deal breaker. However, as Dr. Jackie states, you definitely want to get it right. Get it right, get it tight if you try it again. So let me know what you think. Do you think cheating should definitely be a deal breaker for a marriage or for a relationship in general? Let me know what you guys think. Okay, now it's time for Dear Christal. You guys know this is one of my favorite times of the show because I'm able to answer some of your questions or at least give you my perspective. It may not be something that you need to roll with. I'm definitely not a therapist, but I can give you my good girlfriend advice, and you can take that and add it with what you have already and figure out, if it applies to your situation. If you have questions, you can always send them in. The email address is fromchrystalxo@gmail.com, or you can go to the website, which is just fromchrystalxo.com. All right, let's get into the question for today. Dear Christal, my husband wants to change careers and I don't like this new direction. He wants to be a motivational speaker and this doesn't seem like it will have earning potential. What can I do? Okay, I've actually gone through a similar situation to this. I can definitely understand you being a little bit afraid because motivational speakers, that's a long journey and you just never know when the money's going to start to come in. However, in a relationship, it's most important that both people are happy. So if your husband is a great guy towards you and he supports you, I think that you have to support him as well. Maybe you can be helpful by coming up with a plan or, doing a little bit of research and kind of coming up with a strategy where he can reach his goals a little bit more efficiently. Now, it could be that you guys are just growing in two separate directions, but at the very minimum, you need to have a conversation. And I would say if he has been supportive to you, the least you can do is be supportive to him back. What you don't want to do is put him down or discourage him or make him feel like you don't believe in his dreams, because that's not what a partner does. So go ahead, have a conversation, see why he wants to be a motivational speaker, see what his motivation is for that. And if you can help him out, hey, who knows? He could be the next Tony Robbins. All right, so now it's time for a little relationship rhetoric. Now, this is going to be fun. Today's relationship rhetoric is going to be fun because I have one of my favorite, sex relationship coaches is featured today. Her name is Kane the Coach. You can find her on Instagram at Kane, Caine, the Coach. And she's going to tell us her opinion on 4 reasons that you should not fake an orgasm. Check out this clip.
Here are 4 reasons never to fake an orgasm. You're teaching your partner to please you the wrong way. You may have a hard time coming for real. You're cheating yourself out of pleasure. How will they feel when they find out you've been lying?
Okay, that's right. We had to mix it up. Add a little spice this time to the relationship rhetoric. Yes, relationships are all about give and take and doing the right things, but we want to have some fun in the bedroom. So I agree with Kane the Coach and that well, you know what? I'm actually split. So I'm going to say yes, no? Yeah, both. I'll tell you why. Now, I definitely agree with her. There are certain reasons that you should not lie or fake orgasms. But I also think that if you just suddenly tell your partner, if you guys have been intimate for years and say year 5, you just come out and say, you know what? I'm not having orgasms. I'm going to be honest about this. You will crush his entire ego. And vice versa. If I am intimate with a guy for a number of years and then all of a sudden he just admits that he's not enjoying it and he's never had an orgasm, I would definitely be like a little bit intimidated and feel a little bit, self-conscious about that. So I think that you should tell the truth, but I think you have to start in the beginning. You can't do that mid-relationship. If you're going to do it mid-relationship, you got to do it with a little tenderness, right? You don't want to just tell him that what he's doing is wrong. You may want to show him what he could do better and then start the conversation there. Because I promise you, if you just all of a sudden let him know either way that it's not working, you're going to have a dejected spouse. And that's not what we want. Shouts out to Kane the coach. You guys, please go follow her. And she's got some great tips on how to keep a healthy, spicy sex life that I'm sure everybody can benefit from. All right, so now it is time for our clip of the day. Now, this is Mother's Day week, so I had to do something a little bit different. As opposed to having a clip of the day showing a happy couple, our clip of the day is going to celebrate motherhood. And who better than our subject from... All right, so now it's time for clip of the day. Now, usually we have a couple and we show like a cute couple interacting, but it's Mother's Day week. So we had to do something to celebrate motherhood. Who better than Serena Williams, who we mentioned earlier in the show, and her adorable daughter, Olympia. Check out this clip from a Stuart Weitzman's commercial with Olympia and her mom, Serena Williams.
Do you love mommy?
Yeah.
Love.
Love.
Strong.
Strong.
Dream.
Dream.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Intelligent.
Intelligent.
I would definitely call Olympia my mini me. She is mini Serena. She's so cute. She's so fun. I don't know if Olympia follows in my footsteps. I want her to do whatever she wants to do and what's best for her. Are those my shoes?
No.
Why would you wear my shoes? Do you want to go somewhere together?
Yeah.
Yeah, together.
Yeah, forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
I think that clip is so adorable because it shows Serena teaching her. And we know in relationships, the person that teaches us how to love others first is our mothers. Mothers teach daughters and sons how to love. So they're so important to us. So make sure you give your mother a little extra love for Mother's Day this week. And if you're a mother, make sure you demand a little bit of extra love from everybody around you. Just kidding. We want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Enjoy your relationships with your children, and I hope you enjoy your relationship with your mother. Keeping it in the same tone, our love soundtrack for the week is another ode to mothers out there. A song from Mama by Boyz II Men, to me, is one of the most classic Mother's Day songs ever. I dare you as a mother to listen to that song and not feel a little tear, just like a little bit in the corner of your eye. If you just sit there and listen to it, it's a beautiful song. So our song of the week is a song from Mama by Boyz II Men. All right, so today's quote of the day, we have to give you a quote to add a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of good energy into your relationship. Today's quote says, "Relationships don't last because of the good times. They last because the hard times were handled with care." I think that's so important because how you show up in the hard times is how you'll be able to appreciate the person later, right? Good times are easy for all of us. So with that being said, this has been a good time for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you will go to the website from Christal XO, leave your comments on the blog post. There's blog posts about Tressa, Stacy, and some of the other singles from Ready to Love. We also are definitely going to address Married at First Sight on the blog. All that is on From Christal XO. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a happy Mother's Day.